Hello, Scouters, and welcome to the product sale kickoff. First, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things that we want to get you started on right off the bat. So next slide, Thomas. I don't know how we want to do that one. Everyone needs to start off by making sure their unit is registered. So go to trails-in.com/unit-registration and register your unit by going to that page and putting in all your unit information. You can also renew if you've been registered in the past. Next, we wanted you to get trained. This begins your training right here. So thank you so much for watching this video. But Trails In puts on awesome webinars, and they're all geared toward your level of learning. So sign up for a Trails In webinar. There you will learn how to use the app. There you will learn how to use the unit portal and find out a whole bunch more information about the sale. Also, we definitely want to have everybody out on August the 13th, a couple Saturdays from now at 9 a.m. right here in the Scouting Adventure Center in Columbia, Missouri, where we'll have our big kickoff where everybody can get all of their information about the sale. We'll have lots of round tables and breakout sessions as well. There's other resources for you. We mailed to your home this parent letter as well as the paper registration forms. You can go to grcbsa.com/popcorn-burgers. That's where all the council information is. So it'll have dates for the sale. Trails In has a support page. You can also go to the Trails In YouTube channel, which I highly encourage you to do. There are 2 to 3 minute videos on there about each portion of the sale, real quick to digest information about how to get started and also about utilizing some of the resources like the app and the portal. Trails In has Facebook pages. If you go to the Trails In parents pages, you will see a lot of pages all geared toward different unit sizes as well as the success of the units, where you will find a whole bunch of really useful information about how to make your sale a lot better. We have district-specific popcorn kernel inventory exchange Facebook pages. Those will be very important for you later in the sale, and I'll get more information about that to you. In addition to the weekly kernel journal emails. So make sure that you are receiving those. Those don't go into your spam. Make sure you're signed up to receive the weekly kernel journal emails. I want to let you know also that the Great Rivers Council has a lot of folks that want to help you out and want to make sure you and your unit is successful. So here at the Great Rivers Council, you have me. I'm Greg Baker. I am your council staff advisor. Our council colonels are Sam Bross and Diane Stelzer. We've got district colonels and district executives available to you to help you throughout the sale. And here at the Great Rivers Council, Taylor Kreitz is always a phone call away or an email, and he's definitely able to help you out throughout the systems. And on the Trails In side, we have Adam Walden as our new sales manager. Without further ado, I'd like to bring up Sam Bross. Sam is our council co-colonel, and he is going to talk to you a lot more about the sale.
Okay, good afternoon, Great Rivers Council. Thanks so much for taking the time and coming to see us. I'm going to use a little bit when I worked for the evil corporate giants. I did process improvement. One of the things we always wanted to do was introduce ourselves to the audience, so you had a little feel, some context for what we're saying, for what I'm going to say, actually. I'm going to tell you up front, excuse me, while I walk over to this piece of paper. I'm not going to go through the instructions on all the websites or the videos. They're very good. I think they're very clear. I think you can do that. I'm going to talk about goals a lot today. The goals for me, and they may not be the goals for your unit, but the goals for me are team construction. You've got scouts, they're working in patrols. You've got adults, they're leading the scouts and helping the scouts, enabling the scouts. Team construction. And the next goal is self-sufficiency. Can your unit take care of yourself? Can you plan activities, form a budget, get the money you need, and go out and make all of those things happen? That's really the goal for me. I want my scouts to have a wonderful time. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've done as an example, some of the problems you might run into. My hope is that you'll either hear something you think will work, or you'll hear something that's crazy and you'll do just the opposite and it will be successful, right? Find some nugget you can take away and either use or discard and do the opposite. I'd like you all very much to outsell any of my units, because that's our goal, to raise funds for your scouts. Greg asked me to talk a little bit, pardon me while I wander around here in the camera. Greg asked me to talk a little bit about our history in the Mark Twain district. We're at the far northern reaches of the Great Rivers Council. Some of the things I've heard about year over year, and I want to mention them up front. After 10 years in popcorn, I've heard these phrases many, many times. I cannot sell. That is too expensive for this town. Scouts has too much fundraising, and we raise all the money and the council takes it. So first, though, back to where I started, let me introduce myself. My name is Sam Bross. I am in Troop 161 in the Mark Twain district. I have degrees in physics and business. There's a lot of stuff on that screen for which I apologize. 3 councils, 2 packs, 4 troops, almost every job available. That colonel job is the hardest one. I've been a founder for a female troop and 1 pack. I worked for 13 companies. I started 2 personally. They worked for a little while and then they, sort of winked out, but there was money for a while. A couple Fortune 100s where I did the process improvement work, 1 university, 1 college. But if you're going to figure out who Sam is, I think the last one is the most important. It's dirt. I love dirt. I've been on the family farm for 7 generations, not me personally, but we've been there for 186 years, which defines who I think I am and how I'm going to try and talk to you today. Mr. Thomas, please. What I have first, I'm a scientist. I like data, data, data. I wanted to show you this in just a minute. This is an old spreadsheet from 2013, a different council. In this spreadsheet, which is gigantic, we tracked 43 scouts, 17 products. We did show and sells, wagon sales, take orders, and we wrote all the Visual Basic for applications in the background that made it all come out. Whew. Why would I show you this? Next slide, please, Thomas. Because I want you to know that your biggest headache in popcorn, or one of your biggest, is data and keeping track of it all. 10 years ago, we made this giant spreadsheet because there's just too much to keep track of. The good news is Trails End has created the app, and they do all of this for you. What's the good thing about your own spreadsheet? If you make a whoopsie, you can fix it easy. Trails End, it's got to be right. So just be aware, you're going to encounter a lot of data. Scouts, prices, products, and it all needs to work out. So, Thomas, you can go on, please. Thank you, sir. Again, one of the things we often hear is, we can't sell that here. I can't sell anything. That's too expensive. When my wife and I got back to the area where the farm is, the Cub Scout pack was gone. It had been gone for 5 or 6 years. So our feeder into the troop was gone. I had 2 scouts who wanted to be in the Cub Scouts, and they were ready to sell popcorn. So when we restarted the pack, you can see 2019. If you look at that leftmost column, that's the year, and then the sales, and then the number of scouts. Those 12 scouts in 2019, they were all rookies. Not only that, their parents were all rookies. None of them had ever sold anything, right? And we heard all those things. This is too expensive. We can't sell. How will we ever do that? So as you look down those years for pack 161, you can see that those scouts in the first 3 years for which we have data sold $30,000 worth of product. If you look at that at the very bottom, that's, if you divide that by scouts and years, that's $1,500 for every scout every year they were there. You can do this too. If you look over on the right-hand side, Troop 2309, that's the female troop we started. They formed in October of 2020. That's late in the popcorn season. They helped a little, but they didn't really do much. But in 2021, they got out their wings, if you will. You can see that those 3 scouts sold $7,400 worth of popcorn, or $2,400, $2,500 each. So if I can go to the next slide, Thomas, I am not just out there pushing the packs and the units to do it for me. These are my kids. I have a life, a star. They're over there. I have a life, a star, and a scout, and a tenderfoot. Pardon me, my kids are helping. So anyway, my son started selling in 2013. His first year, he sold $265 worth of popcorn. It's not on the chart. And the next year, 2014, about the same. But after that, he decided to get with it, and you can see what he did through 2021. My girls, when they started, obviously in 2018, when they could, they took off a lot. That's because they helped their brother previously. They knew what they were doing. Once again, if you look at the total at the bottom, $42,000, and per scout year, that's more than $2,800 per scout per year. You can do this. Let's talk a little bit about where it happens. I'm in Palmyra, Missouri. If you're not familiar with it, it's 3,300 people, a very much a farming community in Marion County. That's the whole county up there, 28,600 people. Average income is not stellar, not gigantic. I put up there that 24% of the people are under the age of 18. And I'm almost 60. I could be under 18. It'd be okay with me. The reason I put it up there is because those scouts or those young people don't buy much popcorn. So when you take that population, only about 75% of them are in your market, according to me. And we had the number of scouts selling about 6. When we're up there selling, most of our customers have, I would say, natural fertilizer on their work shoes. So they're wearing their boots. They've been in the farm. They got dirt. They got manure. We sell, because the town is so small, we'll sell in one spot many times. We may be there on Saturday, back on Wednesday, come back the next Sunday. So people see us over and over. We have repeat customers. We're not anonymous in front of a big box store. We're seeing the same people all the time and working with them to sell lots of stuff. We sell in different locations, not big boxes. We sell in front of restaurants where people are eating, they're spending money otherwise, but they keep coming back and buying what we have to offer. For you, the adult, I want to say one more thing there. For you, the adult, it's important to get out there, be in front, and be friendly. You know, sometimes that's hard for the kids and you want the kids to do it, but you can say hi to people, let the scout explain the product, you know, shake hands if you know them. That's always helpful, right? We're in a small town. It happens a lot. Okay, now, one of the things I said up front, excuse me for looking at this piece of paper, one of the things I've heard in every council, every troop, is that the council just takes all our money. So I asked this year, I said, if I'm going to stand in front of the camera and talk, I want to know what the numbers are. Again, I'm a scientist. I like numbers a lot. Here is, in the blue dots, gross sales by the Great Rivers Council. In the orange dots, how much the council made. So you can see that in a good year, this is fairly big business. $850,000 back in 2015. If you look at those orange dots, how much the council keeps. All my life in Scouts and the other 2 councils, the most we ever made was 33%. That was what the unit kept in a sale. And you can see that's where the Great Rivers Council started out, but then they did great things. I don't know if you were involved in 2019. They said, you can keep 66%. Whoa, did we have a great time. I mean, the units made money. Then in 2020, if you look over there, that's the evil COVID year, and sales went way down, right? And the percentage of, or the amount the council kept went way down. 2021, it came up just a little bit. I'm going to show you this data in the next slide in a slightly different manner. So this is the amount the council keeps divided by the amount that's sold. And you can see we're down there in the 2% range in 2020. I have that number, excuse me just a moment. Yes, 2% of the council budget comes from product sales. So the Great Rivers Council is not having you sell popcorn so they can up their budget. This is, in the Great Rivers Council, a fundraiser for the units. So you can be self-sufficient. So you can work for a goal as a team. I would urge you to set a giant goal. We're going to pay for everything. Summer camp, we're going to pay for everyone's registration, and we're going to take a couple great trips. And in the middle, we're going to have 2 or 3 giant meals. You know, you can do it. And it's not hard. You can do it. So the key to this is, I think, to everything in life is persistence. Yep. I want you to keep in mind, only your unit is really making any money off this. One other thing that I would tell you, if you sell $2,500 worth, or your scout does, excuse me, you get a free cam. If you take $2,500 and take the 15% that the council keeps, that turns out to be about $375, right? Which is just what camp costs. So you get that right back. All right. With that background, and again, where did we make this happen? It's a tiny town. It's a tiny town. We sell to the same people many, many times. You can do it. You can do it. And you can go to the big towns. We sneak a little over down the road and sell in front of a big box every once in a while. All right. That's obviously quite profitable, or you make a lot of money there because of the foot traffic. But most of our money comes from the town we live in. And when you're out there, I want you to emphasize that how much money that you're raising stays right there in the local area. Does good for you and your community. Yeah. The Great Rivers Council sells 2 product lines from 2 companies. So only one company's got an app. And we have worked with the Great Rivers Council with Trails End and with Burgers Products. And we've asked them, can you fix this? Can we do anything? And currently the answer is no. If you have a customer, and just a caveat here, if you have a customer and they want to only pay you once, you can use a Square and get a payment. I believe Square charges us a percentage of the credit card, 2%, something like that, to get the money for that, where the Trails End doesn't. But you're going to run into this. You just need to be prepared. Burgers Products don't have an app. You're going to sell those at the same time, hopefully. The council recommends that your Burgers products, which are considered perishables, right, that you get all the take orders first. Then you buy them. I disagree with that. We always buy them in advance. We put them in a cooler and we have them there for people to see. We think that makes them sell better. But again, you have to think about these things you're going to run into as you're selling. We try to set goals at the unit and the individual level. And again, those goals are outcomes. We want to do something. We want no one to have to pay any. Am I in the screen? I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. The studio crew there is waving their hands. We want to sell goals at the unit level. We want to pay for everyone's registration, recharter. We want to pay for everyone's summer camp, right? And then at the individual level too, because as you know, the scouts are rewarded at the individual level. But if you want to build a team, you want to make a patrol, you've got a scouting unit that you want to bring together, right? Then those unit level goals are really, really important. And you should set an outcome first, not a dollar. Set an outcome and see if you can make it to those dollars. All right. So again, 2 unit goals for myself. One is to be self-sufficient. I don't want to have to ask anyone else for money for our unit to do what they want to do. Also, I've been in a unit where we didn't raise much money, and every event you had to start a month in advance and try and collect money from everyone. It gets to be a real hassle. If you're going to come, let us know now. Please RSVP, send the money. It's hard to do. It's better to do it all at once, and it's hard work, but better to do it all at once and get it done. And I want you to keep in mind while you're out there fundraising and building your teams that there are at least 2 teams in every unit. There's the scout team, and it's very important that they work well and that the adults are able to step back, but there's also the adult team. And as you probably know, because I'm assuming most of you are working folks and would be at home with the people with the dirt and the manure on their boots, people have all sorts of things that bring them together. I just want to make sure I say them right. They have personality, they have ability, they have attitude, and they have emotions. And you've got a team, you've got to take those into account. How can we make this work? Everyone can't do the same thing. Everyone may not enjoy the same things. Keep that in mind, right? Build your team. Okay, Mr. Thomas, please. All right, so there are a few techniques that we found useful. I mentioned this one previously. It's really important. When we talk to people on the street, we tell them 50% of what you pay stays in this community with this unit. 50%. About another 23%, and we may not, we may say 25, but about another 23% stays within the council and provides activities for the people in this unit from this town to engage with other scouts and get broader education. You want to take the scouts on a trip they'll remember forever if you can do it. We took one set of Cub Scouts on the double-decker train to Springfield, Illinois, which isn't very far. But let me tell you, those scouts all remember the double-decker train. It was super fun, super fun. Great banquets and events. Again, if you can host a banquet of blue and gold or a celebration of Eagle Scouts, and everybody can come and eat good food and not have to pay anything. They can bring grandma, they can bring their best friend, they can bring anybody. It's a great way to recruit. You can give back to the community with projects. Try and put it in the local paper. We bought trees and the associated hardware for the park, and we planted them. So even after the banquet, even after the trip, we had money left to give some back to the community in a very visible and public way. If you're trying to appeal to your personal scouters, an individual adult leader, here's my takeaway. I have sent 3 scouts to camp many times, so 12 scout years of summer camp, and they've always been super sellers. It's cost me nothing. And as a parent, I certainly appreciate that. The scouts did the work and they realized that they reaped that reward themselves for the work they've done. Okay, one more. So just in case you need it, here's a picture of rewards. That's one of my scouts in the middle on this side and some other famous people from the Great Rivers Council. And you can tell the adults are all extremely excited and none of them are worried about smashing into those rocks or running into that wire. This was a great trip. My scout sold enough popcorn to pay for it all. Just a wonderful time. This is at, Summit Bechtel, which is one of the high adventure camps. There's another great goal for you. Send them out to a high adventure camp. Okay, Mr. Thomas, please. Yep, so there are some things you need to expect. Popcorn is data intensive. You got to keep track of a lot of stuff. That's why the app is so wonderful. You don't have to build it all yourself. Everybody can have it. They can enter it where they're at. There's not a pile of paper on your desk at the end of the day. If you can do it with cashless transactions, all that's taken care of. It's very nice. So you need to know how to use the app, even if you can only do it part-time, I think. You're probably going to sell both product lines. You'll have some paper records, multiple families, multiple locations, and you'll get some inaccuracies. And then you have to keep track of the perishables. Again, one is Burger's products, and the other would be chocolate from Trails In, chocolate-based products. We don't sell those when it's hot. So if people want them, you have to be sure and tell them, hey, that's coming later. Again, your unit, your team that you're building is made up of individual cogs, and they've got different abilities. They've got different personalities, different attitudes, and different emotions. And it's extremely hard, even as adults, to put those emotions away, right? If Fido got run over by a car and he's got a broken leg, then everybody's upset, even though there's a scout meeting, right? You got to keep track that people have lives, they have interactions, and they're not all the same. That's how you can develop your scouts, right? You can watch them learn to work with all that and make it work. You will find, I think, I always have, and I've participated myself, that leaders and scouts will find excuses why they can't make it to that sale. Oh no, well, maybe Fido just got donked by the car and Fido's okay, but we can't come to that sale, right? So you're going to have scheduling conflicts. You're going to maybe be working and all of a sudden you have to go work again. It's just part of learning. I think you'll run into it all through your life. You will find adult leaders. I've probably been one, and you find them who want to purchase rather than an earned experience. We'll just pay for it, and that'll be the same, right? We paid our money. But your scout learns so much by going out there and interacting with the public and raising that money for themselves. You can expect hard work and long hours. It takes a lot of time to sell popcorn. Again, I think a focused effort is best. You can raise all the money you need for the year and be done and have a big celebration. I always recommend that. Please, Mr. Thomas. Okay, so what do you gain? Yep, you gain an experience that lasts a lifetime. As near as I can tell, it's applicable to everything. I've had a lot of jobs, as you saw in that first slide, Almost every job has 80% of the same stuff. People you don't get along with, people you really like, people who do excellent work, some people who don't quite do all the work. It's all there. It's applicable. You have to justify what you spend. You have to justify what you buy. Something else you can gain is a team that completes its mission without you. If I'm not there, the team goes on. If that scout's not there, maybe there's something that came up, then the team can go on and succeed. For me, the funding creates the freedom to create adventures. You know, oh, we're going to have another meeting. We're going to have another meeting. Hey, we are going to go on a boat ride or a canoe trip, and we're going to eat like kings. So, or queens, excuse me. And again, by building this team and getting the adults and the scouts to work together, you build a unit you can leave behind. I want to go on with my scouts. I don't have any cubs anymore. I want to go up the ladder with them and enjoy all those adventures. You can be in leadership. You can accept the responsibility. You can do your job, and then you can go on and leave it behind, well working, well functioning, I hope, for someone behind you. Lastly, I would say that the hydrogen atom lets me know I'm done with my presentation. Sorry for that. I put it at the end of all my shows. That means we're done talking about scouts, almost. I want to say, if you got the time or if you need something and we can work it out, I'll be glad to come talk to your unit in person, talk to your scouts, talk to your adults, talk to them all together. If I can help you sell popcorn, I want you all to sell more than I sell, because that really makes us a very successful council. Thank you so much for your time. I think Greg is coming back.
That's right. Thank you so much, Sam. That was wonderful to introduce everybody to the popcorn sale and very good and encouraging. I am here with Tina Chidster, and Tina is one of our other top sellers in the council. Tina, what town do you live in?
Louisiana, Missouri. So out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. So not a sprawling metropolis. of
No,
any sorts.
not at all.
All right. Tell us, Tina, in being so successful, what did you do to motivate the scouts?
So what we did is we set a nice big goal for our scouts to reach. And we updated our sales weekly, so scouts knew where they were. We combined our burgers and our popcorn sales to get that total sales. Popcorn's pretty easy to track because it's on the app. You can see what they sold. Burgers, they would have to update me every week and tell me how much they sold. I used a Google slide that I found on Trails in Facebook group. And I would update that. We communicate with our parents on Facebook Messenger. And so usually at the end of the weekend, on usually Sunday evening, I would update that slide and I would post it in there so that the parents knew where, as a unit, we stood in our popcorn goal. I also did a unit sales incentive. And so we set a sales goal, our top tier, and then we had incentives that they could meet along the way, such as like if they sold X amount of dollars, we paid for their membership. An X amount of dollars in sales would equal a free day camp admission, things like that. And then we did overall unit sales. So our top seller gets like a tent, and our second top seller gets a knife, and our third top seller gets a flashlight, something like that.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, great. What did you do in your community to be successful?
We saturated the community, the area with sales. So we sold every single way that we could sell. So we sold storefronts, we did wagons, we went door to door, and then we had popcorn on hand so our scouts could check it out, because with the popcorn on hand, it sells so much better if you can just hand them that bag right away. And then sometimes they eat all the popcorn and they come back and they want more.
Yeah, we like those people.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And last question, what was a challenge that you didn't expect that you had to overcome?
I always forget that popcorn sells better at the very beginning of popcorn sales than at the end of the sales. So every single year I freak myself out because sales are so great that first weekend. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I sold all this popcorn and I have to get more. So then I use those exchange groups like you talked about,
Yes.
And can get more popcorn.
Excellent. All right. Well, as everyone can see, Tina's a mom. You know, she does have a full-time job. She's also a leader for 2 units.
Mhm.
Yes. And in a small community, they do a bang-up job of making a lot of money for their scouts and pay their own way.
Yes.
All right.
yes.
Great. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Greg.
Tina. Yeah. So last, I just want to wrap up a couple of things. First off, make sure the parents understand that a good sale means no out-of-pocket expenses for scouting activities. I think that Sam said it best with a earned experience is what we were really looking for. Thomas? You want to hold a popcorn kickoff in your community, in your unit. You want to have enthusiasm. If you are not that person to be enthusiastic, find that person that can be enthusiastic about the sale. Do role playing with your scouts. explain storefronts, explain the apps. All those things should take up a good amount of time in a unit popcorn kickoff. Thomas? Very, very, very important as we wrap up. Keep in mind that your show and sell order is due Thursday, September the 8th. Your show and sell pickup will be either Friday or Saturday. That's district dependent on September 23rd or 24th. So September 24th, you're kicking off your sale. You have product and you can go out. If you do need to replenish, we will have that available for you. Contact us and let us know what you will need, but don't forget about those district exchange pages as well, so that you can get product from units right around you. Your final order will need to be placed by October the 31st. So that's whenever we wrap up the sale, and you'll pick up all the rest of the products that you'll need on November 18th or 19th. We talked about incentives. Keep in mind that if you get everything within the system, you utilize the app, and once you pay for all your product, all the kids will be able to pick the prizes that they want. So the Trails In rewards is Amazon gift cards. They earn a certain amount depending on the points that they earn, depending on the sales they do. And with those gift cards, they can buy anything they want that's available on Amazon. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget that we have lots of people around us to help you. Don't hesitate to reach out to Taylor or myself or Sam or Diane or any of your district executives. We'll be happy to help, and we want to make it a successful sale. Hope to see you on August the 13th here at the Scouting Adventure Center. Thank you.